You're listening to From Fear to Love. I'm your host, Alma Lee. Well, it's not every day that I get to ask you a question, but who's going to wipe your ass? No, I'm not asking you who's going to wipe your ass. I wrote a book. Actually, I wrote my second book. My second book is called But Who's Going to Wipe Your Ass? Now, why on God's green earth would I write a book and title it But Who's Going to Wipe Your Ass? Well, here's why. I'm midlife. I'm a Gen Xer. I've been divorced. On top of my predominant clientele are Gen Xers, millennials, and a lot of them are struggling. Marriage is falling apart, relationships breaking up. I just wanted to write a narrative to share with a large swath of the population that feels really lost right now. I think a lot of people are hurt, and we're jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire, my friend. And that is the motivation behind writing this book. I don't want to trigger a shame response, but I do want to challenge people to think. I want to challenge people to consider long-term investment, long-term emotional investment. If somebody has been in a relationship or a marriage for several years and you lose the ability to interact with someone else, or maybe you're the root cause of the disconnect, there is healing and work to be done, my friend. And in the book, I have written several narratives that hopefully you can not only subscribe to, but you can find some familiarity in so that you don't feel so alone and isolated in your troubles. We're not getting any younger. None of us are getting out of here alive. And it can be fun to leave a marriage or a relationship and to engage in a variety of casual encounters. I'm not denying that. I'm not judging that. I'm just saying that if that is all you're doing and you're not cultivating anything with any real authentic intimacy, vulnerability, we got to do some work. We have to. We got to figure our shit out. We got to get to know ourselves. We've got to date ourselves. We've got to figure out what we're worth. Man, nothing will beat you down faster than getting divorced after being with someone and just not knowing yourself and having the insecurities of, dating again after being with the same person for many years. And if you're coming out of an emotionally abusive environment, if you're coming out of a toxic place, you might jump back into the frying pan right after if you don't take some time. So that's what I want to encourage. I want to cultivate some healthy thinking, some healthy actions, point out dysfunctional features and behaviors for people without people feeling like, they're being beat up for it. Because I guarantee you that if you have a wound, if you have trauma, if you've been existing in a toxic environment for many years, then I promise you some of that's rubbed off on you. And you can't be expected to move into another partnership and be fully healthy if you haven't healed. So there's stories in this book that hopefully will engage your thought process, that will help encourage you to seek out speaking to somebody who has been trained to help you identify some of those problems, dysfunctions. So this is the first volume 1 of my Resiliency in Action series. So this is the first volume. There will be other books that are due to come out. Can't really announce anything on that. I am working on them. So got to do one thing at a time, right, guys? But I hope that this is helpful. Please follow along. I will be making notifications on my Facebook as well as my Instagram as things evolve with regards to the audiobook. The audiobook has already been recorded. It is currently in production. And Scout Alley Studios, Clarkson Bear Productions. Thank you, Chris Dotson, my executive producer for the book, for the audio. He's currently actively working on that production piece. So as soon as the ISBN is available within the Amazon printing functionality, we will upload that audio and we will have an audio book available where you can get all of your audio books. Audible, Apple Music, you can listen to the audiobook there as well. Amazon audiobooks as well. So it's coming. There's more to come in this the Resiliency Action series. And so this is the first part. I want to give my fellow Gen X divorcees, I'm giving you guys a shout out. These streets are rough, man. Dating sucks. It's a dumpster fire, but it doesn't have to be. And the reason that it's a dumpster fire is because, well, you're wounded. And so you're finding wounds in other people, and you guys are gravitating toward each other like magnets. So the literal meaning of "but who's going to wipe your ass" it's deeply personal, actually. I had a experience in providing care for my mother-in-law when she was in her final days, and if you've ever acted as a caregiver for someone, an adult, somebody that you love, that you're deeply connected to, and you actually have to provide them some hygiene, some hygienic care, because they are incontinent, then you understand the delicate nature of preserving that person's dignity and the depth of connection that needs to exist out of respect is where that came from. It's where I realized how important life really is, and in taking care of somebody that for the longest time I perceived to be an incredibly strong person. And all of that just kind of got fractured when she had her brain event. And so she was nonverbal, but she could communicate. She couldn't speak anymore because her brain was injured. And she became incontinent. Her brain didn't work right, so she would have accidents. But she was there cognitively. I know she was there because I asked her, when I was cleaning her one time, she mouthed the words, "I'm sorry," to me. And I was just like, how can you apologize to me for something that I know that you would do for me? And so that one experience gave me, this was in 2011, but I'm a mother and I'd had 2 children by then, but I felt like I really grew up in that moment emotionally. I felt like I started to see things the way I should see them when it comes to connections and relationships with people. So who's going to wipe your ass? I thought about that. Who is going to wipe my ass? If my mother-in-law was still around, I'm sure she would wipe mine. And so that's the thing. That's what's important. That's what we have to, it's kind of a joke. Yes. I'm sort of, tongue in cheek, making light of, who's going to wipe your ass. But the truth is that if you're not creating relationships that have that much depth, what are you doing? Because I'm seeing a lot of people out there that are really not paying attention to their behaviors, who are engaging in gratifying, or maybe they're mutually gratifying. Who the hell am I to judge? But they're just, it's just looking for immediate gratification, and that's fine. That's fine. You do it for a little bit, get it out of your system. But are you really cultivating something with depth? And where is that coming from? I'm telling you, listen, I am not here to shame sex. I am not here to do that. That is not the intention. I'm not saying that casual sexual relationships are quote unquote wrong. All I'm saying is that where's the depth? If it's not providing you with some type of consistent fundamental depth, and are you providing that person with some type of a connection, then what's the point? Sex is fine, but really, what's the point? Really and truthfully. And that's where we're at, guys. The people that are our age, Gen Xers and millennials, people that have been in these long-term relationships, people that are out there struggling, who are feeling so broken and alone after a relationship, you got to heal. You got to heal. And you know what? If you're fortunate to still have your health, what a perfect time to do that. What a perfect time to take some time on your own and go and see a therapist and go work through your stuff, because I guarantee that you have stuff to work through. And I'm not saying that as a therapist. I'm saying that because I am in therapy. I always talk to somebody. It has made me a better person. It has made me a better friend. It has made me a better author. It's made me a better therapist. I can't recommend it enough. It's important to consider these things. It's important to consider your actions, to be thoughtful and mindful about what you're doing. The book will be available. It's already available for pre-order on Amazon Books. Hopefully in the next few weeks, I'll get more detailed timeframes and dates to announce to you and let you know when it will be available. But please share it, especially if you know someone who is struggling. If you know someone who can't seem to make a relationship work, well, that might be a good person that can check this book out. So I will leave you with that. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your continued support. And I hope to continue to bring you helpful, inspiring content. Talk soon. From Fear to Love. This has been an LBM production. Please like, subscribe, and share this show. Thanks for listening.